Hi, everybody.
Greetings. Welcome.
Salutations.
Spirit Candy.
July
Spirit Candy.
13th. Right? Did I get the date right?
Yes.
Yes,
This time
indeed.
it's correct.
Mm.
We drink to that.
We drink to you.
Yes.
Mm.
We drink to you. We drink to us. We drink to Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just water.
Yeah.
We're goofy enough.
Yeah, it's true. We don't need help.
No, don't
We
really
don't
need
need
help.
any help
Yeah.
getting
No.
any goofier.
Yeah.
Definitely
Oh,
not.
yeah. And then when Heather asked me, she goes, "What's in those glasses?" and I said, "Water." She goes, "What?" Like she was. I think she thought that had to be booster juice or something.
No.
No,
Yeah.
just water.
Yeah, just water.
Yeah.
True.
So, how is everyone? Hope you guys are all good. Sort of summer here in Kelowna. Can't quite decide.
Mm.
Mind you, we
It's
were
off
gone.
and on.
Yeah.
We were gone for a mini holiday.
Oh, it was so wonderful. We went out to Maple Lake,
Yeah.
this wonderful cabin, middle of nowhere.
Absolutely in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere, halfway up the lake.
Pretty
Can
nice.
only
Hi,
be reached by boats.
Hi, Bonnie from Celesta. Where's that? Thanks for tuning in.
I've heard of Celeste.
Happy
but I don't
you're
know where
here.
it is. Hello,
Mhm.
hello. Celeste. I've heard that on the radio on the call-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while Bonnie tells us where Celesta is,
Mhm.
yeah, Maple Lake. It was wonderful. No cell service,
No electricity.
no running water.
Mm.
No TV.
Oh,
Nothing.
it was absolutely glorious. Glorious. There were trees and the lake. Oh, and Shuswap. Oh, okay.
Oh, there you have it. Yeah.
Cool. Love the Shuswap, Bonnie. I
Yeah.
hope you're
Oh,
having
yeah.
fun.
Beautiful there.
Nice. Cool.
We enjoyed ourselves.
Oh, did we ever? The Ravens, there were these Ravens. They come at first one came at 5:25 on Saturday morning.
Who needs
Picking at the window.
He wasn't picking at the window on the first
Making
morning.
noise,
These
squawking.
weird noises. I
Yeah.
thought it was an alarm clock.
Yeah.
Bonnie says she has electricity, hot water, and internet.
So
That's
there.
good.
Not where we are.
Yeah.
Not where we were, no.
Yeah.
So we shoot off the Raven at 5:30 Saturday morning.
Mhm.
Slept for another couple hours, which is nice.
Oh,
And
they
then-
didn't come back to just go.
No.
You know. Mhm.
Not
Just in the morning.
just
Just
in
Yeah.
the mo- just
piss
in the
us
morning.
off and wake us up.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
So the next morning, the little guy comes back with his buddy,
Mm.
and now there's
Two of them.
two Ravens, and yeah, and this is when they were poking at the glass.
Yeah, they're poking
Bloody
at the
loud.
glass.
Well, they've obviously been fed before, so it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Well, I was too mad to feed him. I was just like, "Do you mind? It is Sunday morning."
Yeah.
No.
They don't care.
They didn't care,
They don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
but it was cool. There was a little chipmunk that we'd feed. Right,
Aw,
he'd come up and
yeah.
ask for peanuts and walnuts, and didn't
Mhm.
like
And
garden
he's
fresh
looking
peas.
at us. Where the peanuts?
Yeah, it was so fun.
Oh, it's
so
so
fun.
cute.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to sleep in my own bed last night.
Mm.
Oh, and a shower.
Yeah, the lake is too cold
Too
to
cold.
bathe.
Yeah.
And the stream coming down, which is our, for lack
Water.
of a better
Mhm.
word, fountain, is very cold.
Yeah.
Straight
Whew.
from the
So
mountain.
they were a little
cold.
ripe by the time they got home.
Yeah, so we would we
Little
would
bit.
have to boil water and do it
Yeah.
the old-fashioned way. And we thought for 3 days we can live with those things.
Absolutely. So I say, skunk don't smell skunk. It's all
Yeah,
good.
that's right.
It was so much fun though. Can hardly wait to go back. Hardly wait. It was so nice to unplug and to
It'd
just
be good.
to
Talk to the trees.
talk to the trees
Mhm.
and to reconnect with nature.
It's called grounding.
Yeah.
Yes,
Earthing.
that sure is.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hi, Sherry.
Hello,
Bonnie
Sherry.
says I'll have to introduce you into glancing.
Glancing.
What is glancing, Bonnie?
Never
All
heard
right,
of
and Sherry
glancing.
says, "Hi, ladies. I did some research on ravens and magpies because I've seen so many lately. Apparently, they are abundant around the time of the eclipse." Okay.
Oh, is that
That's
what it is?
interesting. I've never heard
Yeah.
that.
No.
Well, they were big, and the noises, like I really thought it was an alarm clock. It was cool.
Yeah, they have this specific squawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, "Prrr,"
Mm.
and it was that long
Yeah.
and like in timed intervals.
Wow.
Oh, glamping.
Oh, glamping.
Glamping.
Glamping?
Yeah.
Glamorous camping.
Yeah.
Oh, glamorous.
So in other
Yeah.
words, in like an RV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
then
you,
With
yeah,
all
RV
the,
is glamorous camping.
That's right,
yes.
yes.
glamping.
yeah. glamping.
Okay. We
Yeah.
just have cabins.
Yeah.
You know,
and wood
Bonnie,
stoves.
I've done glamping and glamping is cool, but I
Yeah.
gotta say there was something about kind of getting back
Mhm.
to that
basic.
the basic. And for
It's
me,
so
it's
true.
like my
Yeah.
center, you know, to not have my phone for a few days was glorious.
Gift.
It was just, it
Freedom.
was, yeah, it was freedom. And to, you know, every morning get up and go and sit down by the water and on
Yeah.
the beach and just kind
Have
of,
our coffee.
yeah, it was like,
And
oh,
time does not matter.
And
Yeah,
we
that's a
get up
plus.
and we have hot water and
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
makes coffee and we just sit and chat.
and it was so
Peaceful.
peaceful and we slept so well because you know you're
Yeah.
outside all day long.
That's
right?
right, yeah.
And yeah, it was just great. Forest bath. Yeah, that's exactly right, Sherry.
Forest bath. Absolutely.
Totally.
Yes, I've heard of that actually.
Yeah.
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 It was
Yeah,
wonderful.
Very nice. Yeah.
Hardly wait to go back.
More forest bathing.
More forest bathing,
Yeah.
that's right. So Bonnie says for sure. I'm just teasing. I'm sassy today. I have a sassy vibe today. Well, you know, you're a sassy lady,
Sassy's good.
right? And sassy's super good.
We like that.
And tease away, right? That's that's what we do.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, right?
You should hear what we talk about before we get on the show.
Oh,
That's pretty
yeah.
sassy.
it can be.
It can be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because we always check in with Archangel Michael before
Yeah.
the show, right? So if there's any questions that we have that we want to ask
Mhm.
about our own stuff, we do.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And if there's anything he specifically would like us to talk about, he'll let us know.
Mhm.
Yep.
And he does.
Sort
Bonnie's
of
just
like a
laughing.
mini conference.
Yeah,
I guess that's
absolutely.
exactly what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So we have a couple of questions from viewers that aren't able to connect live with us.
Mhm.
But before we do that, Bonnie, Sherry, do you guys have any questions for Archangel Michael? Or should we move right into the other ones?
No, let's maybe move into the first one and
Move
then
into the
get
first
it.
one?
You get a chance
See-
to
okay.
for you to think of something.
It's a very interesting question.
Yeah, it's a
And
good-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great question.
So this question comes from Lori,
Mhm.
and Lori says, I would like to know why young people seem to have so much more issues these days with stress, anxiety, and depression than back in the day. So how can we comfort and keep them strong and confident and secure in their own
Mhm.
hearts and minds?
Now, can everyone relate to this with young people that you know in your own family or friends?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Personally.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Obsequious. Yeah. Okay, let's see. His opinion. Hello, viewers. So delighted you're here with us today. Lori, your wonder is based on painful experiences by youth. They have little grounding compared to old folks. I know the disabling effect woohoo, of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
They, unfortunately, have been so inundated with the internet, with electrical and complicated, all-knowing, hardwired truths and falsities that come streaming out of that source of information. Children have made Siri their best friend.
Hmm.
They talk to these machines that have been designed complement every wonder, every whim, being sad with them,
Siri, yeah.
comforting them, agreeing with them. So the children become fully enabled by a machine to feel sad
Mhm.
and lost. And it's so easy to talk to the robot compared to seeing and touching and speaking with family members, friends. They have not gleaned the same ability that older people were raised with.
Hmm.
Getting in touch with youth requires exactly what you, Carla and Danae, did this past weekend.
Mm.
They need to be unplugged. They need to connect with nature, not convenience stores, not streets
Yeah.
filled with potential danger. There are no drugs, no automatic anything. They have the chance to connect with what's real. They have to work to contribute to everyone. That is how people come together. It's magical, truly.
That's so true. It's like
Yeah.
kind of we were
Yeah.
chatting a little bit about that
Yeah.
before, and you know, even when I was growing up, when I grew up in Calgary,
Mhm.
I could say to my mom, "I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there," and she'd say, "Okay, we'll be back at this time."
Mhm.
And you know, I could go down the street and climb the crabapple trees, or I could go across the
Mhm.
street and ride my bike in the school, the schoolyard. But I could always hear my mom's whistle. Right,
Yeah.
mom had this whistle.
Good whistle.
It was, yeah, and I could always hear a whistle. But now, you know, he talks about how kids are so connected, but that can also be said for their parents too, because
Yep.
we're in so much more fear.
Yeah.
You know, like I raised my kids mostly in Kelowna, and for me to say to them, okay, you can go to the park or you can go
Mhm.
here, I have to admit that I had a fear that something was going to happen to them.
Yeah.
They would get, you know, something was going to
Kidnapped.
kidnapped, really was my biggest
Children
fear,
get
right?
kidnapped.
It happens.
Was they were going to
Yes.
get kidnapped.
too
And
much.
so, you know, it was a challenge for me to just let my kids go.
Mhm.
And you know, my sister does. She lives in a small community up in Alberta, and their whole cul-de-sac is nothing but kids.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right, so she can just let her kids go, and she does just that. She makes sure that they get connected to nature. She's
Yeah.
always taking them out, which is great.
Big value, really.
But it's also, it can be easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know, if you have, you know, I was a single mom, I had to work a lot, and a lot of single parents do, even two parents.
Mhm.
They're working,
Mm.
and it's not an easy thing.
Mhm.
But I think if people could just find even like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
to take your kid for a walk after dinner, or I just finished reading a book. I think it was Untamed,
Mhm.
where she made the kids, everybody in the family, threw their phones in a bowl or whatever it was
That's good.
at supper time. So they would all sit down and they would all have their meal together at the dinner
Mhm.
table, and they would connect, and they would, have that designated phone-free time.
Yeah.
And they would talk about their day.
And they
in
would talk about
school.
their day and
Same
just,
when I grew up,
just take
Yeah.
that, make the effort to get involved in your kid's
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Yeah,
Even if
it's-
you don't understand it, because like I have 2 young
Mhm.
adults and love them to the moon and back.
Mhm.
I don't always understand,
Mhm.
but they don't understand me, and that doesn't really matter. It's just that mutual respect,
Yeah.
right? That
good.
showing of an interest.
Yeah.
And what's different, it's different than what their peers do. Because most of their peers are in that same dynamic where they spend no true time with their families because one parent or another is taking them to different events that they have to attend.
Yes.
And yeah, it's common that people don't sit down and take meals together. My mother, we're looking to find a home for her dining room set, for instance, and everyone says, well, nobody gets together for Sunday dinners anymore. It's not a thing. And that's a sad reality.
That's so sad,
Mhm.
isn't it?
It really,
Because I
truly.
can't imagine that
Yeah.
kind of a life. That's when families bond
Mhm.
and you get to know each other and they tell about their problems and they relate their stories
Yeah.
of the day at the dinner table.
At the
at
dinner
night.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Mind you, when I was a kid, well, the kids weren't really allowed to contribute anything. We just had to eat and be quiet. But the potential is really, positive. Families do that.
Yeah.
I know
Families
we
do,
enjoy
yeah.
our family meals. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes we don't, we don't do it for every meal, but we try to always eat dinner together.
Yeah.
Might not always
Yeah.
be at the dinner table,
Mhm.
but that's the space in which we
Mhm.
all have our, our communication. When my kids
Yeah.
were younger, I used to start off with, what are you grateful for today?
Mm.
Yeah.
Right? And we all had to talk about something we were grateful
Yeah.
for. And it couldn't be the food, because that was just too easy.
That's good.
had to be something
I
really
like
different,
that.
right?
That's got value.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that was so I guess to answer Lori's question, what can we do to help them stay connected and strong and confident is make it a point to get in their lives.
Yeah.
Right? Get involved in their lives.
Ground them as much as possible
Yeah.
with Mother Nature.
Mhm.
Teach them to be outside.
Yeah.
Enormous value.
Yeah.
I just wander
Absolutely.
around in my backyard and I'm so content. The whole day goes by and I've been weeding the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's
And you're
You
good.
got a
thoroughly-
great backyard.
I thank you.
yeah, you got
it's,
a cool backyard.
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's natural and wild. That's
beautiful.
for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
On the radio, this is probably a year, maybe 2 years ago, on CBC, and they were interviewing this family because the parents were just at a loss. They just didn't know how to connect with their children at all, and so they made a pact, and they took a year off, and they went to a remote area, and that's where they lived. They had no devices whatsoever. And so when the year was done, it was so transformative for the kids
Mhm.
and the parents,
Yeah,
without
sure
a
would be.
doubt.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so they were interviewing the son, and he would have, let's say, he would have been 14, perhaps something like that. He wants to go back.
Nice.
He wants to go back.
I love
He-
that.
He's never felt that centered, that as if he was
Connected.
actually,
Yeah.
that he was actually doing something
Yeah.
of worth that interested him.
Yeah.
That was remarkable to hear. Yeah, and then when they did have to, obviously had to go back home because people have to make a living, but it changed the whole dynamic, like with the phones going into the dish
Yeah,
kind of
for
thing.
sure.
They didn't. I think they were. Everyone turned off their phones not too long after they got home from school and work, and
Mhm.
the rest would be with family.
With family.
Mhm.
And for those
Their
that
friends.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and like for those that have, like, I'm thinking of myself, right?
Mhm.
I'm thinking of what would happen if I were to go home after the show and say, okay, kids, yeah, we're gonna turn off our phones. I'm shutting off.
It's like,
Yeah, like I'm thinking about the
No
backlash
way.
that I might that
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
ensue, and
Yeah.
and it wouldn't necessarily be backlash, but
Mhm.
but there would be. It would be a form and
Resistance, to say the least,
resistance.
yeah.
I think that's better
Mm.
choice of words.
Mm.
But I think that with any change, there's always resistance.
Yes.
That's really true. Yeah.
Well, and it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think about even myself with Spirit Candy, about how I was the one who was uploading the videos and trying to learn it all, and I
Yeah.
really resisted that. Like, I really did not enjoy that but I'm in a space now where I'm super grateful for what I've learned
Mhm.
and for where it's moving me. Right? Like I just something that I thought of, realized over the weekend. It's
Mm.
like, that's actually pretty cool. Like I'm really grateful
Yeah,
that I
because
get
you
to
were
learn this.
assigned. Really, it's
Against
yeah.
my willingness.
Yes,
It
that's
was
right.
just kind of all of a sudden this was my job and I had to
Mhm.
do it. And what are you looking at? You looking at my bra strap sticking out?
I don't know. Are you enjoying her bra straps, ladies?
Oh my god.
Oh, girl, that's true.
Oh, and mine too. We're in a sharing mood today.
Oh my
You
goodness
share
gracious.
intimate details.
That's
with each other.
exactly
This is
right.
what happens when I go to the lake with her for the weekend.
I can only imagine. There's no end. No end in sight.
There is no way.
No, no
there
way.
really isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on from that one.
Yes.
Carla
Yes.
kind of broke that
Any
one.
other questions?
Yeah, actually, Bonnie,
Okay.
Bonnie's laughing at us.
What'd you say, Bonnie?
Oh God, Bonnie. Bonnie says,
Can you see that far?
yeah,
I'm impressed.
yeah,
She's
thanks,
good.
me
That's
too.
Can't
teeny.
read
Yeah,
that
me too.
far
Okay.
out.
Bonnie says, whenever I am at family gatherings, I find I am usually who other family members make their jokes about. It can be excessive at times. I know it's not meant to be hurtful.
Mm.
However, I am done accepting that energy and to be the brunt of others' jokes. How do I change this? Good question, Bonnie.
Yeah.
I get that totally.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun to be on the brunt end of
No.
everyone's jokes.
You're right.
So let's see what Michael has to say about that. And then we have one other question from a dear friend of mine.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bonnie. That has no value to them. And it's detrimental to you. Real change.
Real change.
Yeah, real change has to be adopted. Always. You will open up to them in that you will have the platform to express your disappointment at being there. Punching bag of words.
Good word.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Kind of surprised when he said that.
Punching bag.
A punching bag
words.
of words.
Very nice.
So, you have options on how to stand up for Bonnie. You get the mirror effect if you repeat a version of what they have said to you. You turn it around and see what they think. Change the words to fit their characteristics, their behaviors, and say, okay, fair is fair. What do you think? Well, it will piss them off. They may come back with vehemence. How good it will be when you feel deserving to respond with. How do you respect yourselves when you need a punching bag to feel good about you? I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's really fair. I know for me, oftentimes things like that, I might be inclined to have to write something. I write first just so that I can process things. But that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, in truth, they are being childish and mean-spirited. Tell them that you invite none of their crap, and you will not take it on either. What do you think, Bonnie?
Bonnie says, me too. And it's a good way to show them how their actions affect others. And I
Yeah.
said, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's good. It really does matter because, when you're with your family and then there's also young people around, that teaches them how to treat other people, which is
Yeah.
not good. And then when you stand up for yourself, that's respect.
Yeah.
And that teaches everyone respect.
Mhm.
It's like, one of the most profound things that was given to me in, I think it was December 2020 by my good friend Mimi. When you choose you open up the energy for other people to choose
Mhm.
you too. And that has stuck with me and morphed in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example of that. And as Michael was talking, it reminded me of a girlfriend of mine that just recently shared that she really took a big chance and became really vulnerable and in saying what she felt, right? So there was a situation and, my girlfriend has this girlfriend and they would always do certain things every year. And this year they just couldn't. And, without going into too many details, my friend opened up and said, I'm kind of jealous that you're doing this with all these other people and not me.
Yeah.
And it really took a lot for her to do that.
Sure
and
would.
her friend responded with, am I ever glad that you made that comment? Because this is how I felt. Right. So when you choose you open up the energy for others to choose you too. And both of these women, as soon as they allowed themselves that space, that energy completely went away. Right. So Bonnie, for you to open it up and say, you know what, you guys, like, it's not really cool for you guys to always make me the brunt of your jokes. It really hurts my feelings. That's putting yourself in a vulnerable place, but it's choosing you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? You choose you.
Yeah. You're supporting yourself.
Yeah.
You're respecting yourself.
Absolutely.
And by the way, you said December 2020. So
Yeah,
that tells
I
me
was-
that you're actually inviting that for what's upcoming.
Oh, cool.
I was sitting here thinking, that's 6 months from now.
Okay, it was December 2017, but apparently it's still going to be significant in
something's
December
gonna come.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so Bonnie says, thank you for the confirmation. I wanted to do this, but wasn't quite sure how to go about it. At work, that would never happen, but because it's family, I take a more gentle role. I'll change it now. Good stuff.
That's excellent. I just got a little chill to go with that. So
that's awesome.
that means that Archangel Michael's delighted with your response.
So Jana wanted to share something because I had mentioned how I used to do gratitude at the dinner table. And Jana's my aunt. So I've heard this story before and I love it. It's one of my favorite stories. So she says, my kids and I participated in a challenge to do an anonymous act of kindness.
Nice.
At supper time, we would talk about it. We didn't talk about what we did or for who, just if we had had the opportunity and didn't get caught. It was perfectly okay if we didn't. My kids were quite enthusiastic about this challenge, and we did it for a very long time. As adults, they still bring it up and say that's become second nature to them now. Warms my heart. Just like I love that story.
It really
love
is.
that
Absolutely.
story so much, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Jan.
Yes,
absolutely.
lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had another question from a dear friend of mine who can't tune in live, and she has a really cool job, and it's presenting some interesting challenges. She just kind of wants to ask about that job. Like, is it going to shift for her into her dream job? She knows what that is. or is it just simply a stepping stone? Yes.
Do we need to say the name for Archangel
Just your first
Michael
name?
to know?
Or no?
Let's see if he can. I don't know if they'd be okay with me saying their name
Okay.
on a live show.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
He knows.
I know who you mean.
Okay, perfect.
You were asking earlier.
Yeah.
So it's a fine employment. However, real change has to find its way into her, into how she feels about herself, how she wants to feel. She is not defined by her employment. I see her doing well with the work. She's more than capable. I am, however, concerned that she is only doing the job for money,
Ah,
which is necessary, of course, but is it remotely giving back to her spirit?
mm,
So I suggest that she look deep inside to connect with her soft, deep essence. The one she ignores as a rule. I suspect this is mostly one opinion that she has little acceptance to hear. But that's my answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, something that came to me as you were chatting about that, because sometimes it's challenging to do what you do to make money because it's what you love to do,
Absolutely.
right? And
Mhm.
sometimes you don't even know what that is.
Mhm.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
that's great, but I don't even know what that is,
Yeah.
right? And, you know, I was really blessed when I found hypnotherapy
Mhm.
as a career, because I just knew I got this goosebump in my solar plexus and it like never stopped. It still hasn't stopped. I love what I do, but that I'm learning isn't common. And
Yes,
one of the
you're
things
correct.
that I've read that I really come back to is an attitude of gratitude. You know, so if you're doing
Yeah.
a job just for the money,
Mhm.
you know, Mike Dooley, I think it was Mike Dooley that I read this in. He teaches, do it with the best attitude that you can have. Do it with gratitude. Do
Mhm.
that job, no matter what that job is, in the same way that you would do whatever it is you think it is you're going to love.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Did I word that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, you did.
Right?
You got the point across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're doing something that, if your job doesn't bring you as much joy as you want it to do, if you wanted to, do it with the same amount of gratitude that you would do it if it did, and let that energy move you,
Yes.
right? Bye, Bonnie. Thank
Yeah.
you. We'll see you soon,
Oh,
love.
you're leaving us? Bye-bye.
Yeah, she's gotta go.
Gotta go. Girls gotta go.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So there, that's my two cents on that one.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jana has a question. You keep stepping on my toe.
I'm so sorry.
Wigglesworth,
Trampling on
Ms.
your
Ms.
feet.
Wigglesworth,
Yeah,
she
Miss
can't help
Vicky.
herself.
No, she can't sit still.
Yeah.
Sometimes she does it just to annoy
We got to
me,
get
but
you
that's
like a
okay.
massaging butt seat, so that you can. It'll just kind of melly out, and it'll fit with the wiggles.
Maybe for 7 minutes.
So, for 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yes, exactly. See how she does with that.
All right. So Jana says, I have a
Mhm,
question for
mhm.
Archangel Michael, if you don't mind. No,
Mhm.
we don't mind. That's why we're here. Thank you.
Exactly.
I've had a very difficult year, but things seem to be starting to shift for the better. Can I expect my life to get back on track in the future? And if so, what do I need to do to add to improving my situation, health issues, and resulting financial crisis?
Mm.
Great question, Jan. Let's see what Michael has to say.
He's ready. He's always ready.
Of course he is.
He's that kind of guy.
It's his show.
Well, that's right. And he reminds us of that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
does.
It's my show. You're my volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the volunteers.
We're the volunteers, yeah. Okay. Jana. Find goodness in your heart of hearts. Replace that smothering doubt that haunts you with positive imagery. See yourself fully engaged in your life, not only coming to terms with a tough day or feeling inadequate when you don't do as much as you intended. Health issues, slowly reason with the body and the brain and the individual must learn to see tremendous happiness for each little, seemingly insignificant improvement as a fine, wonderful shift to developing a healthy body and mind. Work will improve exponentially while you connect soulfully with your ability to heal your perception, to ignite
Excuse me.
your change potential. When you feel coming out of you a positivity, an energy, a hopefulness that buoys you up every day, that's when you will ease through your life, your health, your work. It all comes down to balance, being accepting of your limitations, whatever they may be, and revel in all that you can do beyond where you are now. See yourself improving. Imagine that fullness of energy running through you so that you, in your mind, quickly make it happen in reality. Is that helpful, Jenna? So much of it has to do with how we think, how we
Our
feel.
own mindset.
Very much so. It's
that's
so
what it
easy.
sounds,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so easy to go into a place of bracing yourself for what's coming up, and to prepare for the day instead of being running into it. It's
a challenge when you've got health issues, though, right?
Big
Because now
time.
you're overcoming that physical aspect
right.
of it, but yeah, I don't know.
You can still find joy in doing something
Mhm.
And gratitude.
and
Mhm.
gratitude for
Yeah.
being able to do something
Yeah.
without focusing on whatever is ailing you,
Mhm.
right?
And it's so true. Like with my mother and with all of her
And
challenges.
that is a perfect
Yeah,
example.
you've got a good example
Yeah.
with your mom there.
Yeah. Wonderful
She's a
example.
very good example for sure. So she'll she spends so much time focusing on what she can't do anymore, and then I'll remind her of all the things that she's overcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the things that she can do.
Yeah.
And then she'll say something empty like, "If you say so." There's something about her. She really values her challenges. She's got.
No, it sounds to me like she values being miserable.
Exactly. She's got wallowitis.
Wallowitis.
She just wallows. It's a new symptom. Wallowitis.
Technical
Yeah.
term. Holy cow.
That's a beautiful term, wallowitis.
Sometimes I think too, though, it's like there might be, what could be called like, who am I without it? Right. So in the case of your mom, right? Like in the case of your mom, who is she without her wallowness?
Yeah.
Right. Wallowingness, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean? So it's
I do.
Mhm.
who am I without it?
Mhm.
Like I'll never forget having to define myself as a person again away from my kids. Right.
Yes.
So like who am I aside from her and Nikki's
then
mom?
it's just who are you, period.
Yeah.
You're not the mom, you're not,
the mom,
it's
like who am I?
yeah.
Right?
You're
So-
not somebody's daughter, you're not somebody's wife, you're not
Yeah.
That's
somebody's
right.
mother. So who am I at the
Yeah.
core of my being?
And who do I
Yeah.
want to be?
Challenging
And where
question.
do I want to go
Yeah.
with
Like
this?
Jen-
And that's
Yeah.
what you focus on.
Totally.
That's a fascinating exploration. I've done that, and it's
Right? Yeah.
the
Oh, it
most
never
valuable
ends,
thing ever.
right?
I think
Yeah.
we've all
Never
been
ends.
through that.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a super cool,
Mhm.
not always easy.
No.
Janice says, yes, thank you very much. I practice a positive imagery almost daily. Some days pain makes it a struggle, but I still push through. Good stuff.
Yeah, that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you might try doing, because when pain is so dominant, it's really hard to remember the positives. So when you do have improvement, or even just a lovely conversation, sometimes that can be a distraction from your pain. And so I encourage you to maybe just kind of write things down, because sometimes when you're having a tough day, it's so easy to go just kind of sink
To
down
slip
that
back
whole
into
yeah
that,
yeah to go
'cause it
try to
hurts,
sleep through it
right?
or
Like, it
whatever.
hurts.
Yeah. So with if you focus on the positive changes that have happened, I hope there have been several. Focus on those and grow them in your mind, and start to expect it to be better. And that might not be realistic, but something about having a certain positivity spirit really wants to help you with it. And with someone like my mother, who is, like today it was, now she's getting upset that she's waking up. In other words, she wants to be dead. And, I said, Mom, that's coming for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to say get on it, but sometimes I feel that way. It's when she gets that, the word, the self-pity. And I'm not saying this about you, Jan, at all. I just have so many examples with
Just
my
an
mother.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll remind her, well, just remember the other day you had this going on and that was good and you really enjoyed that. So in other words, get your head out of your butt and look at the day for what it is.
Mhm.
And
Enjoy the sunshine and the
Yeah.
flowers outside.
exactly. Then
That's just a good
Yeah.
start.
and that's usually when she says, I got to go to the bathroom now. Bye.
Sometimes
Yeah.
Right?
That's
That's
right.
funny, eh?
Yeah.
Gotta go to the bathroom now. Bye. And sometimes
Oh,
too, I
yes.
think there's a level of acceptance, right?
Mhm.
So like,
You're right.
I'm not
Exactly.
in your shoes, Jan. I'm not in Colette's mom's
Mm-mm.
shoes, but I know, I know a bit about your struggles, and I know what your beliefs are, and on and on and on. And for you to do that positive imagery, and then to still manage to get through it with the pain,
Yeah.
just accepting, all right, you know what, today it hurts. It
Yeah.
just hurts. And I can't fight it. It just hurts.
Yeah.
But in my mind's eye, I can go into this place where it doesn't hurt,
Mhm.
where I can move freely and easily, and money's pouring down all over me, and I have the life that I absolutely desire. I wonder if even that simple acceptance might help. Again, I don't know, but it's just a thought, right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Music can help too. If you put on
Or
something.
a very funny movie, and all you can
Yes.
do is laugh
That's
and
true.
laugh
Yeah.
and laugh.
Yeah, there's a wonderful
All
thing
of a
with
sudden,
distraction.
the
It lifts
world
you up.
looks a lot brighter if you
Yeah.
do that.
And you haven't
does,
even
yeah.
thought about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it's like in your shoes, because I've never been there.
No.
But yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any other questions?
And yeah, we're getting on. We're like
All right.
47 minutes.
Oh,
No more questions?
I don't have
the
any more
bubble's about to
questions.
pop.
The bubble is about
Yeah.
to pop, girls.
That's
Whatever
funny.
that means
Mhm.
to you.
Mm-hmm.
Michael have anything
Oh.
he wants to say?
I guess I should ask.
Yeah.
It is his show.
That's his show. Anna, how do you feel about soaking in a float space kind of tub?
There you go.
Okay.
Danae and Carla
Lives in Fort St. John.
are very familiar.
We have floated.
Yeah. So even though the business of float space is not convenient,
Mhm.
to say the least,
Your 15-hour drive.
Yeah.
you can acquire from Costco.
Oh,
Everyone goes to Costco at some point in
at
time.
some point
Epsom
in
Yeah.
our
salts.
life,
Yeah, that's
we
what he's
go
going to
to
say.
Costco, right?
Yeah. He goes Epsom salts
Yeah.
to create your own
Float space.
mellow, meditative space.
There you go.
Oh, sit in the tub and do your
Mhm.
positive imagery,
Mhm.
right? Let them.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So Google how to buy or order. They mail,
He is also an assassin mood.
He
today.
is
Oh
an
my
assassin
gosh.
mood.
I love it.
Like 5 containers of Epsom salts because they use a lot of it
Yes.
It was like 1,000 pounds in a tank.
in float
Yeah,
space.
well, that's a
Yeah,
big tank.
It's a
but
big tank.
yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out and be ready to see your happiness
Oh, that'd be awesome.
quickly peek out and say, ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's good.
That's hilarious.
That would be very ooh, wouldn't it? It would
Yeah.
just feel so good, right?
Oh god, yeah, totally. Jana says distractions help, and I appreciate all the little things. Yeah, I know you do.
Mm.
I've begun helping Melissa with family photography as a means of getting into nature and creating something beautiful for people.
Nice.
Finding it lifting my spirits, although exhausting. Awesome.
That's excellent. It
Yeah.
really is. Good for you.
Good stuff.
Keep that up.
And then, come home and have a wonderful Epsom salt bath
Mhm.
when you sit in
Yeah.
that wonderful space and recount all of the uplifting of your spirits, and then letting it just
Mhm.
move you into what you want your life to look like, right?
Yeah. Imagination
Oh my
goes a long way.
Oh,
for
yes.
sure
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
I think we're done.
I think so.
Lovely.
I soak in Epsom salt bath every morning and read spiritual book. Nice.
Good. But
Good
now
stuff.
we're talking serious Epsom
Like
salts.
lots
Like
of Epsom salt. Like at Float
to
Space,
the point where you float on top of the
Yeah.
water.
yeah, at Float Space they use 1,000 pounds in a tank, so you're literally floating in this much water. If you have a Float Space up where you are, look into it.
Yeah, right, for sure.
I don't know if there is one up there, but if not, maybe try adding some more Epsom salts.
like a lot more.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So just a suggestion from Archangel Michael.
There you go.
Indeed you do.
All right.
Shall we?
All right. Wonderfuls.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Lucky.
May you have a wonderful week ahead
Yes.
with wonderful weather.
Getting better every
Absolutely.
day. Bye-bye. Mm.
Bye.
Mm.